Partying in the USA.
Close enough for
Put your
close enough for
hand up,
government
sing
work.
that song.
Oh man, that game you linked in Chairman Pane looks awesome.
I was before you got on, I was talking about it, and it's just I've been watching videos, and I'm like, oh my goodness, we need to get a thing. Oh, my camera, I didn't do that, but yeah, I was watching videos, and I'm just like, oh my goodness, this looks like it'd be hilarious.
Yeah, it looks so dumb and so fun.
Like, it's one of these games where I'm like, man, this, yeah, as you said, it looks really dumb and really fun, and I want to get like Wisdom, who is all like analytical and knows how to do like builds for games, just have to run around and grab trash to fuel a train.
Right. Right. I'll turn my webcam on in a minute, guys. Just throwing that out there.
All right.
I'm trying to find the link or my multi-link thing so that way. I know it's on one of these. Wait, no. Is it that? No. How many links do I have?
20.
Oh, wait, those are chat commands. Hold on, let's go to timer. That's where I turn them on and off.
All right. Welcome everybody to Pandemic Legacy. This is February out of a year-long campaign.
Wait, this is a year?
Theoretically.
Dude, D-Paint's got to pick up the pace, man. We got stuff to do. Nah.
So where last we left off, we had a handful of outbreaks that have now turned some cities rioting. We found out that D-Pain is an uncurable disease. It tracks.
Yep.
So we can no longer cure D-Pain. We did manage to eradicate myself. We eradicated Night, and in doing so, we found some positive. What are they called? Positive mutations, so that I am now easier to cure. It's so weird, but you know, I like it. I dig it.
Hey, Night, quit eradicating yourself. Quit eradicating yourself.
We lost our first game for January, but we did win our second game. And as a bonus for winning our second game, which apparently this card is locked. I think I did that intentionally so I didn't accidentally throw it somewhere. As a bonus for winning one of our games in January, for any game played in February, that would be today, after setup and before the first turn begins, remove one disease cube from the board and return it to the supply.
Ooh.
So we have the option to remove a cube from anywhere on the board and drop it back in the supply.
So we can either try to make D-Pain less of a pain, or we can make one of the two not easy to cure diseases, but still curable, easier to get rid of.
What did you say?
Mean, I think a lot of the choice there is going to depend on which three cities end up with the 3 cubes.
Absolutely.
That will be the big driver.
Is that before only for this month?
Yeah, so that win bonus is only for this month. Before we choose our 4 event cards, we need to read the setup card for February. February mission debriefing. We have to get ahead of this new D-Pain virus, as it is unlike any we've seen in nature. We've managed to get authorization to start quarantining hotspots, treat the viruses we know about, and keep D-Pain under control until more work can be done on it. D-Pain, oh boy, D-Pain has been mutated again, and now it can no longer be treated using any known techniques.
Oh no!
Continue on with your existing objective.
Wait. Damn, man.
So we gotta work fast.
So you were replacing that word with D-Pain. How do you know it's red?
Because the
Coda virus.
The uncurable is Coda.
Oh, okay. Got it.
So that one's for you. This one's for you.
I grabbed mine off the stack after you grabbed the brown one.
Also, hi, Excellent. Hi, Anime.
We have a quarantine specialist.
Get them out of
Ooh,
here.
a new character.
Once per turn, you may use the quarantine action to place a quarantine marker anywhere on the board. Quarantine markers are never removed from the city you are in.
What's a quarantine marker?
Ooh.
I don't know yet.
So well, this thing says open and resolve one at a time. These 5 things. That'll probably tell
yeah,
us.
we still have that. All right, so there's that. So 9.
So since we can't, oh, it says right. Oh, right. Place
We get to
quarantine.
open the advent calendar?
Yay! Everybody gets a present.
My present is me.
All right, so D-Pain cannot be treated, cannot be cured.
Great. Do
Oh,
we
I
replace
upgraded.
this with it?
Yeah, I think that just goes right over the top. And
All right. Well, there you go.
What did it replace?
It replaced
original-
takes 2 actions to treat.
Oh.
Ooh,
That's
Yep,
right.
that
You
makes
guys
sense.
can't get rid of me.
you
No
now
matter
have
how hard.
confidential clearance. Open package 1.
Open package 1.
Is this all quarantine markers?
Oh,
It
there's
is.
a quarantine.
Quarantine markers.
This is not a marker. That's a circle.
What was that? Okay, cool.
So I'm going to stick
Oh,
that
that
there.
was what was in packet 9.
All right, now you
that was
got to
in-
do
That was in box 1.
G.
So this
Oh.
it says open package
Next
1.
is G.
Open package. Oh, okay.
So we got
Wait.
quarantine markers from that one.
Yep.
You said G?
Yeah, G's on the
Yeah, there it
rightmost
is.
one.
Search.
And then A.
Let's
which
drop
is in the
this
middle
over
one.
Here. Let's see. There's the rule for it. I'm going to delete that.
Quarantine. Spend an
Yeah.
action to place a quarantine marker in your current city. Only one quarantine marker may be placed in a city at a time. When a player is instructed to add an amount of disease markers to the city of any color, remove the quarantine marker instead of adding disease markers. If you're
Ooh.
out of quarantine markers and do the quarantine action, remove a quarantine marker that's already in play and add it to the city.
There
Interesting.
you go. I pulled out all the things you needed to open.
So I
Okay,
don't
how
know
many
where on the
quarantine
rules-
markers? We only have 12 markers.
Yeah, so I think it's 12
it says
at a time.
when you look at it, it says rules G.
Oh,
Just highlight it
so,
with your mouse.
so somebody can
Yes.
stick that down on rules G. A was next, right? Yep.
Yes.
All
Okay.
right. Relationships. When creating a character, give them a relationship with an already created character. Both characters get the same
Oh.
relationship. Both get friend stickers. So you get a type of relationship. Fill in the name of the other character in the relationship. Each character can have 2 relationships.
So,
What does it do?
interesting. Hang on. I'm gonna look at the rules again. First section of learning to play the game. To create
Okay.
a character, select a character card. Each one has different abilities, and give your character a name. So, whenever we picked a character for the first time, we were supposed to give them a name, and that was supposed to be creating them. So, I guess when we drew we probably couldn't give it relationships in between the ones we already have, but the quarantine specialist that was just made would be new and would be able to have a
Right.
really-
Have a
relationship.
relationship with one of them.
Which also means since we used the generalist and the dispatcher,
Yep.
because we could have given one of them a relationship now. Although I think we made the right choice moving off of the generalist.
Right.
Package
Okay.
1.
So where does the relationship go? What is it?
There are 2 relationship slots on the top right of the thing.
Oops.
Relationships are probably in the other packet, I would imagine, or in one of these 2 packets.
One of these. Oh, 5 and 4.
Oh yeah, there's friends and
Yank
rivals
shit out of them.
and extra relationship stickers.
That's just an empty bag.
Oh, I guess the bag is for these stickers when we're done with them.
Oh, so you put the ones you don't use in the bag for later. Okay.
Oh. Friends, if you start a turn in the same city as a friend, you may look at but not rearrange the top 2 cards of the player deck.
So you could see if an epidemic's coming. When a rival plays or discards a card, you may immediately discard any 2 cards to pick it up.
Oh.
That's good.
So I guess then,
Well, let's look at packet 6 before
Does
we
that
decide on
count
that.
for these event cards?
Probably.
Because that seems really good if it
Yeah,
counts
it
for the
does.
event
Except
cards.
for
Oh, we got more things.
Also, I just
Family members
assumed
and
like
coworkers.
all our characters' names were like we were our characters.
well, so technically we don't have to play the same character each game.
And also
Right.
characters can die.
Yeah.
I just assumed we just magically exchanged our consciousness to the next thing.
You guys didn't name your characters? My character's name is Scientist.
Oh. Well, mine is named
Oh.
Abul Shman.
Okay.
I don't. How do you spell
I've just
it?
seen that one coming.
Coworker. You may share knowledge with a
I mean-
coworker as long as one of you is in the city of the card that is being passed. The researcher can pass any card. So coworkers.
If you're
sounds like it's
coworkers with the
huge.
researcher can pass any card.
Can't the researcher pass?
But
any
you have
card
to be
already?
in the.
But you have to be in the
No,
same
as long as
location.
one of you is in the city. So does that mean that the researcher can?
Oh my god, family members.
I mean, like,
I'm trying to.
ooh, family members.
This-
That's big.
Family members would be great for the dispatcher because if my family member is in the same city as me, then I can move someone else an extra space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to. With the coworker, it suggests that you don't have to be in the same city to pass knowledge, to do the share knowledge. Like you can share knowledge without being located together, is what it suggests.
Yeah. So it suggests that like instead of both of us having to be in Chicago to hand over Chicago, only one of us does. But-
Okay.
But
So-
then the researcher can hand
I-
anything. So does that mean the researcher can just hand something to someone anywhere?
It sounds
That's what
like
it
me
suggests.
and
Well,
you should
coworker.
have that.
Oh, yeah.
EG,
Like-
EG, you're the scientist, so me and you should be coworkers. Just like, hey, I found
Yeah.
this, take it.
That is insanely powerful, except we both already exist. And even
this
though
is
we
our
have been
game, we can
working
make up our
together-
rules.
Even though
Right.
we've been working together for a month, we're not coworkers.
Hold up. What's never mind. I was about to make a joke, but that was a little bit too dark to be live.
Uh-oh.
How's it going, Ecorb?
Oh no, my character died and came back. Oh, hey, we're my new coworker who's also a researcher. How did the old researcher die? Case of the pains.
Yeah, family members one is strong. The coworker one seems really strong with the researcher specifically.
Why are they gonna give this to this
Hello?
now and not let us use it?
Well, so we have the quarantine specialist that gets a relationship.
Right.
The
Quarantine specialist. Once per turn, you may use the quarantine action, place a quarantine marker anywhere on the board. And
So
never,
we already have the action. We can take a turn to place a quarantine in the city we're currently in.
and
So
the other
for her,
one
it's
is
anywhere on the board.
if she puts a quarantine marker down and is standing there, then you don't remove it whenever the quarantine blocks disease. It stays there.
Mm.
But I don't think that's the important part of her card.
All right.
that's kind of feels like the second part of the medic ability.
Yeah.
Or the basically blocking the cubes from being placed
Yeah,
on
yeah,
there. Let's see.
It's pretty important. It can be.
It does mean though that it's only once per turn, but that means that if she was like in an area that was really bad, she could quarantine the spot she's on, move to another spot, quarantine that spot, and then use her fourth action to quarantine anywhere else, you know?
So the thing, Sybil, is that she can quarantine that spot that has 3 panes on the tile, but she doesn't have to stand in it for it to block the outbreak there.
Right.
On the other hand, if there's
If she
going
did.
to be an outbreak and it's going to chain, then she could stand there to block multiple hits from the chain. So,
right, but if
yeah, I
there's
could
going to
see
be
that.
an outbreak, you just quarantine where the outbreak's going to be. The quarantine sounds really useful.
It does sound really useful. Sounds like a great skill. The problem is we have 4 very useful characters right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not for
Um,
long.
I
But
really think
the other problem
quarantine-
is if we're gonna lose, like, so we've got Knight, which is easier to cure, and we've got EOG and Salty that have to be cured to win the game. But then we've got D-Pain that can't be cured or treated. The only thing we can do to keep red from overflowing is quarantine.
Yeah, we need the quarantine. By the way, I just want to remind everybody. Knight said we made it easier to cure him. Here's what we found for winning. We got to choose things, and we chose both of these. You no longer need to be in a research station to discover a cure for Knight, and you no longer need to spend an action to discover a cure for Knight. If anybody has, is it 5 cards? Yeah, five yellow cards. Knight is immediately cured. Actually, I think it's probably still going to be on their turn, but you know what I mean.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
We found last time we were looking and we were trying to debate whether the second thing was good or not. I said if you don't have to spend an action, you can do it any time, right? And we looked up the rules online, and they said if you get efficient to sequence, you can do it anytime, even if it's not your turn.
Yes, Civil's backing you up, says he remembers the same. So cool, very very cool. Which means researcher's going to be super good.
Huh.
I honestly like looking at all of us and seeing how fucking fast things spiral out of control. I wonder if the quarantine specialist is better than the scientist here. It's so good to cure the diseases and move towards victory, but also it's gonna blow up in our face if we don't get quarantines down, and the quarantine specialist needs to be out here. You know?
Yeah. And I feel like the medic and the dispatcher are super useful.
And if we're gonna put a new person in, then the researcher getting coworker relationship with that person is pretty good.
So
That
I don't know.
said, where was the
The
positive
rival one is very
mutations?
too.
So if we continue to put down positive mutations every time we have the option to,
Yeah.
the third thing we'd be able to put down for Knight is you can discover a cure for this disease with 1 fewer card.
That
And
is
so
nice.
like, but there are only 2 of that. So if we were to get 1 and 2 on Knight, EOG, and Salty, and 3 on 2 of them, then it'd already be 4 cards for 2 of the diseases and 5 for 1. So having
Yeah.
scientists would make it 3 and 4, which would be great, but also like trading the scientists out wouldn't be terrible.
Yeah. I also I'm like eyeballing the rival relationship. It's probably not the most useful one, but man, if we get it alongside you doing something like government grant. Somebody does
Oh,
government
yeah.
grant, your rival picks it up. It has to be between those 2 characters though, so you know, it is still rolling the dice.
yeah, I mean, I think that's probably the biggest roll of the dice. Friends is a little bit, but if you're friends and just kind of stay together on that one.
All right, so I think it's probably good for me to swap the scientist out for now.
All right.
You just want
And then
relationship,
what relationship do you want to put on it?
Well, stop turning.
Turn around, eat a bunch of cakes, and
I feel like coworker with researcher is good, but also the researcher can only get 2 relationships.
Yeah.
it's okay. Let's be
I
real.
don't really think
Who wants to be a friend with me?
I don't really think that necessarily any of these are particularly good for me. I think friends would be good, but that would incentivize someone to just stand in the tile I'm in because I'm probably not going to be moving very much when I'm moving other people, and we don't necessarily need that, you know?
Yeah, there is like the option of like the quarantine specialist trying to stay near the dispatcher to you can still quarantine around the world. But
Right.
it seems a little cheeky.
Yeah.
I think this game wants us to. Do you remember how fast everything went? We need to play against the rules. We need to find every rule to cheat against, and then look up later and say, "Oopsie."
I'm
We only do
noticing.
the coworker once.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a
Only-
relationship once. One pair of them.
We
We'll hopefully get more relationship options in the future.
So if you do the coworkers between these two, then we won't be able to do it with anyone else. It'll always be the researcher and the quarantine specialist. Also, I noticed something I don't know if I'm supposed to notice yet. All of the character cards that we had have these little medical stamps on them, except the new character has like a dog tag stamp.
Dang military. Let's get them.
Interesting. Yeah, I think the coworker status always should have been scientist and researcher, except you can't. So I guess that's what we do.
Salty, you know who doesn't have that symbol?
Huh.
Civilian. It has your symbol. What are you talking about, Civvy?
Oh, hang on.
Ah!
No, that's the O2 symbol.
Quick, get him!
Oh, dare.
I was gonna put paint on top, but I couldn't figure out how to quickly do that, so I just shuffled it.
All right, I think I probably ought to do coworker with pain, and then quarantine specialist. I'll still kind of play it like a researcher, just spending an action a turn to quarantine.
Okay, I just made
Or
a
more.
stamp. Whoops. I just made a stamp for the coworker sticker.
Cool.
To put on the cards.
How are you making stain? Oh, right.
I don't know how to do that.
It's
He's the leader, so he has to do it.
The decal button.
South America. You are now a co-worker with North America.
Oh wow, fancy.
I don't know how to get rid of him.
It's the next to bottom most button.
Click it again.
I'll let
the
Mike do it.
The decal.
Coworker.
And then put it on one of your relationship spots.
How do I turn this thing? How do I turn
Bunk.
the decal?
Now you're supposed to, I think. Well, I mean, we're not going to because it would.
How
be
do
too
I
much
turn it
pain in
off?
the ass. Click the top left button on your tools again. But it says
Okay.
coworkers with.
Yeah,
and it doesn't have a
so
name.
I don't have a good way of putting text on the cards because the text tool will just go
It'll
to
just
the table
float.
behind.
Yeah.
So
Got it.
Yeah.
So
In
we
the
don't need to do that.
Yeah, so in the notebook at the top, on the top bar, I just added a page for relationships and put it in there so we can keep track of them. And, I mean, it's the only pair of cards that have the same sticker, so...
Right.
Add new.
Oh, boy.
I wonder when they're gonna get Pandemic 3, where we're trying to solve the pandemics, and then there's like natural disasters, like a volcano appeared in Atlanta.
Don't give 'em ideas.
Your research center now is poopy.
Pandemic 5. You've all been
Global warming.
kidnapped by aliens and taken to their planet to try to resolve their alien pandemic.
Can you solve it before you get probed?
That's one of the diseases. Your
probing.
infection rate is like probe rate.
All right.
I didn't
so
sign up for this.
We have funding of 4, so we can select 4 of the event cards to add to our deck.
Let's just put
How do
them all
we
in.
how do we know we've got 4? Oh, I see. You put the
Because we
numbers down
won.
here.
Didn't we win last? Oh, there's numbers.
Yeah,
So how many?
So-
We started with 4.
we started with 4. We lost the first
Oh, yeah.
game, so we went up to
Yeah.
6.
We got
Then we
2.
lost. Then we
Okay.
won, and it went back down because
Okay. Cool.
you get punished for winning.
Right.
Just like doing taxes.
We're winning so much we're getting tired of winning.
Oh no.
um,
All right, so that means we get to choose 4 of these?
I can't wait for
Yeah.
the rule to come in where you can't. There's like you can't choose the funded event twice in a row.
that would be rough if you had higher funding.
Okay. Remote treatment. Does that work on pain?
No,
Pain
you
can't
can't
be
be
treated
treated.
anymore.
Remove. It straight up just says remove 2 disease cubes from the
I
board. It
get-
doesn't
yeah.
say treat.
True.
But it is called remote treatment, so I
Yeah,
wasn't
that's when we
sure.
send the quarantine and just do the old-fashioned quarantine with a 45.
Yeah, you can treat D-Pain. You just have to use a bullet.
Ring of Fire.
No,
I mean, it does. It doesn't say treat in the text of the card, so it.
Let me look up the rules.
Which means we can also do that at the beginning of the game with our win bonus.
Yeah, because
Well, the win bonus didn't say treat as well. It just said remove.
Yep, just says remove.
So I think that is yes, we can use that for.
Okay, so I really like the resilient population card.
Hey, Landris.
This is a nice one.
Okay.
It's a nice one.
Airlift. I do like airlift for getting around. It's not as necessary with dispatcher, but it can help to get people moved into the right places.
Especially if I get that upgrade that lets me use cards repeatedly as flights, because then I can just make everybody fly wherever.
Iruga says, next game is Scamdemic. You have to prove to the world that the pandemic is a hoax and an inside operation by the opposing political party and a deliberate attack by demonized country.
No.
Yeah. Then whenever you draw the cards that are what are they called? The epidemic cards or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah, when you draw that, it's not an epidemic card. It's a card where shit got better and that fucks with you and you have to try to fight it. No, the vaccines didn't cause autism. And you're like, shit.
Fire that scientist. I also counted there. Wait, hold on. Is there? Okay, there's 12 cities. Are there 12 cities in each section, each color?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you can just look at the infection card pile. It's 48. So.
I ain't good at math.
All right. I tend to like government grant as well.
Yeah, I think that one's pretty strong. I think this is probably.
I think borrowed time is very good too.
Especially if Knight can get it.
Yeah. Me or Knight, either way.
That's true, yeah.
I'm okay with whatever we choose.
We say those two, and then just picking between. I think probably between One Quiet Night and Remote Treatment are probably the other two that would be. And One Quiet Night is probably the stronger.
So why is One Quiet Night better than Forecast?
I guess you do get to rearrange.
And it's 6 cards, which means even if we get an infection, with there are only 3 cards in the discard, we can just pull that and be like, no, bury those 3. We'll get to them later.
Oh, right. Because we can put them under the next ones, even though the next ones aren't part of what just happened.
I mean, I'm not saying One Quiet Night isn't good. I'm just saying it looks like Forecast could be better.
My problem with One Quiet Night is weird. It's that I think it's effective every night because it pushes everything back one, and so every time I get it, I don't know when to use it.
Yeah. So that is the good thing about One Quiet Night is we just push. Well, but the downside to One Quiet Night is if you push back the infection deck by 1 turn, but not the player deck, which means your next epidemic card's gonna have 2 less infections to shuffle back in.
Yeah. Yeah.
So those 4.
Iruga, you lose characters in that one because they eventually are like, oh, yeah, no, every test we did said that this was this was legit and not a conspiracy. And then they get a scar, and the scar is learned something.
All right, so do we always start on Atlanta, or do we get to start at any research station?
We can choose to start the entire group at any research station. So everybody has to start
but everybody
together,
has to start together? Okay.
But it can be at any research station. Whoops.
And we kept Cairo?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Split into 5.
Get yourself together.
When do we have to pick? Can we see where the diseases go first?
I think that's what we did last time.
I have another question.
No.
What are these white lines on the board?
Which ones?
So South America is split off by itself, North America is by itself, but then you got I guess it's there's just one line cutting right through here. and they don't split where the diseases are. They just split.
I hope that like 3 months from now, it's like, Section Alpha has been destroyed.
Oh God!
Put the crater icon.
Hang on, I got this. Just
Do you have
High
this?
tech. That is a high-tech crater right there.
yep. It's just this is just gone.
All right. Deal. There's our starting
Oh, you took away
cards.
your X. I also realized that the color that it started my pen off would have been like, that wouldn't be good. I was just gonna make a sad face. Oh,
Guys, I got borrowed time.
So in this setup, the side character's starting location does come after the infection, the initial
Yeah.
infection.
Hey. All right, cool.
All right, so
We got everything all good and shuffled.
reshuffle this
Yep.
more. The
Oh, where does
player
this-
deck
where does-
no longer gets shuffled.
Yeah,
'cause
remember
it's
not to
on the
shuffle the
set.
player deck.
All right.
Oh, right. What
does
does this say?
Do we know where this go?
At
That's
the end
just a
of your first
reminder.
game inside February, so there is no reminder for this one.
No.
All right, 3 for
Oh,
Ho Chi
look,
Minh.
it's Ho Chi Minh, the one that's got the 2 on it
coming in
already.
strong,
Oh my
baby.
God.
It's gonna be funny if these are all red.
They are.
It's going to be a quick
No,
game
like-
if they are.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be a busy game for the quarantine specialist. Dispatcher, get me there.
Jakarta.
God.
3 Oh god,
Right
that's
next to Ho Chi
a
Minh.
chain. That is a chainable one.
Oh no.
Washington
Washington.
gets 3.
Nope, not red.
I'm like,
As much as fun as it would be.
Washington
Right.
is also unstable.
But we knew that.
I'm just saying, how's it landing? Well, I guess we do.
hey,
have
how many?
environmental-
Oh, right. Then we have 2.
2 for
I,
Two in
Bangkok.
Bangkok, which is right
Oh
next to
my
Ho Chi
God.
Minh,
I just want to say I didn't shuffle the cards this time.
Mexico
2
City.
for Mexico City.
Brutal.
And 2 for Kolkata.
That's not a real place.
Kolkata, which is right next to Bangkok.
Yeah,
1
the
for St.
color doesn't matter.
Petersburg.
It has to be the same color to epidemic or outbreak.
1 for Lagos.
Istanbul.
And finally, 1 for Istanbul.
I have the Istanbul.
Okay, cool.
Where is it? In the middle.
Yep.
All right.
That red area is really bad.
So
Yes, it
remember,
sure is.
before we start the game,
We get to
After
take 2
setup-
away.
we can take 1 away from the win
Oh.
bonus. And if we draw that card, we can take 2 away. Did we put that one in?
Uh,
I don't remember if we did.
I think
Yeah.
we did.
if we draw what card, we could draw take 2 away.
The
Oh,
one that lets you take
right.
2 off the board.
No, we didn't.
Um,
We didn't put that one into the deck.
Oh no. I would say probably take 1 off of Ho Chi Minh because it's already at rioting.
Yeah, we're gonna have to quarantine both anyway. We might as well try to protect the one that's worse off.
1 away.
And if we start in Atlanta, then we're right next to Washington, so the medic can already just jump in on that.
That's true. And as the quarantine specialist, I'm gonna be quarantining over there from wherever I am anyway.
Let's see. Card
The researcher
five.
down. The researcher down.
No, my coworker.
I caught myself.
So card-wise, we currently have 3 yellows out
Yeah.
of the 5 we need.
Do you want to just shove them in my direction? I guess that'll be the main kind of.
So hang on, we
I
got.
guess
Oh, I get what you mean. Okay, yeah,
yeah. Since you guys,
but we have to be
Okay.
on the location to give it to you.
Yeah,
You give us cards on the location.
right. And he can give me cards from anywhere.
I can only give
Any card anywhere. So you give me that black one like right away.
Yep.
But you can also give Payne cards anytime you're in the city with it.
In the right city, yep.
Yeah.
I wish
That's awesome.
I wish I
Okay,
could get
so-
my ability to 2.0 where I just beat you guys up for your cards.
Yeah.
That'd
I mean,
be
he's
awesome.
he's
I'm
the
like
researcher.
Baseball bat.
The
It's
Batman.
really funny to me that the researchers like always handing shit out and never taking. So it's like, hey, I found this thing out, and the researcher's like, I don't give a shit about that. Here, take this thing that I learned.
Get out of
yeah,
my
that's
way,
nice.
peasant.
I found this thing out.
Oh, does it make you feel special?
Does it make you feel special?
Get out of here,
So-
community college boy.
1, 2, 3.
I went to state.
2. So we have in our starting off 3 out in the discard 3 red cities, 2 black
Yep.
cities, 2 blue cities, and 1 yellow.
Yeah.
2 yellows.
Okay.
So
So
2 yellows.
Who was that? Who's going first?
Knight.
EOG.
it landed on blue.
Oh, EOG. Yeah.
So I
Color
get
is
4
night.
actions. 1 action
white.
immediately is going to be quarantining Jakarta.
We love you.
Yep.
And,
There are only 12
There.
quarantine markers.
I know.
Eh.
I don't
But-
like
I don't
that.
like that.
So the way I
Um,
read the quarantine, though, is once when a cube is attempted to be placed there, it removes it instead of adding the disease
Yeah.
markers, which makes it available again.
Right.
Well, also, if you're trying
but that
to
means
put
you
one,
can't just quarantine the whole map.
Right.
Correct.
it says
Yeah.
if you try to put one down and you don't have any, remove one from somewhere to use one.
Yeah.
So you're
So
not
you
going to
can
get
move
locked out, but you
Okay,
still
that's good.
can only have 12 down.
All right,
so
but that's still
I
a lot
think-
better than I was thinking.
I think I should make my way towards red and see if I can get a research station down over there. So if Pain hands me enough stuff to cure a disease, I can do that at a research station, and also I can be bouncing around red, putting down quarantine. That's what I think. What do you guys think?
Sure.
I mean, it makes sense.
Who?
So you,
So who would want to collect yellow then?
I
we-
can collect yellow and work my way through yellow
Where's
territory.
Lima?
Lima's here.
It was here. Man, you know, if I had that upgrade that made it so I could use a card as a flight by just revealing it, then on my turn I could be like, I fly to Lima, Knight flies to Lima, I give Knight Lima.
What?
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
I don't remember what upgrade that was.
It was in the character upgrades thing.
Oh,
I
right.
Like how
we
you
didn't
got
take-
the
we didn't take
local
that.
connections
go-
one.
Does anyone mind if I
to-
put these relationship stickers back in this
Yeah, they can
bag?
go back in the bag.
yeah, go for it. Did
except
you get rid of the
for-
one that we already used? The
We need to
coworker?
pull the coworker
Oh.
ones out.
Nope. I don't. You guys said that as I was like shaking.
That's fine.
you're good.
We can pull. We can just pull them out of the bag.
There are
So-
no more coworkers in this
Coworker.
reality.
So
I gotta
I
pull them
moved
out.
to Chicago, San Francisco, and then over to Manila, and I put a quarantine in Jakarta. That's my turn.
My turn now.
Wait.
Um,
I
Oh,
wasn't paying attention.
no, after
You went
your,
to
You need to draw the two
Oh.
cards.
Chicago, San Francisco.
nah, we'll skip that.
Okay, yeah. So here we go.
Hang on.
What?
Does that go there? Oh, it does. Okay, cool. Never
There are
mind.
2 ways to go from there. Yeah.
I just saw like this line coming from Los Angeles looked like it lined up with this one more, but then there are only 3 lines here and 3 lines here, so like okay, whatever. Miami.
And Istanbul.
Okay.
All right, I got a yellow and 2 black.
Infection
Oh,
time.
shit.
One
Also,
for
Los
LA.
Angeles.
remember that if Salty uses one of his things,
Shanghai.
he can move any pawn to another pawn. So he could move, if we needed to, he could move Pain to me, and then since we're coworkers, I could give Pain anything I have.
That's true.
Because I can't give anything to Pain from across the world like he can.
Instant transmission.
Right.
The
All right.
zoomed in view is weird in tabletop sim.
What do you mean?
So you can
Throws
rotate
everything to the side.
Well, you can rotate your zoomed in view, but that rotates everything that you're zoomed in. Anytime you zoom in on anything, it rotates it.
Yep.
I
Well,
rotate
Well, because I think
myself.
typically, if someone uploads a deck and the whole deck's uploaded or rotated to the right on accident, then rotating once will fix all of it. It's just that whoever made this had everything rotated different directions. So
Well, I think it's the difference is the portrait cards versus the landscape cards. Like the character
Right.
cards are portrait or landscape rather, and all the other cards are.
I thought there was a way when you're uploading cards to Tabletop Sim to tell it
I don't know.
this is the right upside, but I don't remember now. It's been a long time since I've uploaded shit to Tabletop Sim.
I never uploaded anything. I just show up and say, okay,
When
I'm doing games.
When I first got Tabletop Sim, I uploaded like 4 Magic the Gathering decks to it, just in case anybody wanted to play Magic.
Nice.
Well, it's my. Is your turn?
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
my turn's up.
All right. So bring. Here you go, knight. Have a yellow. I don't know where you are in here.
There's 2 yellow.
We have okay.
And remember, 4 yellow anywhere.
5.
Wait, it's 5 still. Okay.
5 still.
But 5 wins, like, doesn't even have to be your turn.
Yep.
With yellow.
And then does coworkers mean we have to be on the same spot?
I don't.
You
think
don't.
So.
You can give me research from anywhere. I have to be on the same spot to give you research.
Well, no.
You have to be on the
have to be on the
city's name,
city.
the city spot, but not on the same spot as him.
Well, one of you has to be in the
No.
city. Well, for
No,
EOG to give you cards, one of you has to be in the city with that card.
I can pass any card. I can do it on
right.
anything.
So if
that's right. That's right.
D-Pain stepped on Istanbul, EOG could just give him Istanbul.
It would
Right. Okay, got it. That's cool.
Okay. Oh wait, then I know what I can do. Okay, so I'm gonna give you Moscow, EOG,
And then go to Miami.
Exactly. Here,
Yes.
I sent an email. If you and then, guys, I had enough of this. I'm going on vacation, Disney World.
Right. And then on EOG's turn, he can give you Miami.
Yes, that's awesome.
2, 3,
That is really cool.
I don't know. I don't really want to do anything else. That's 3 turns.
You know what? He should drop a quarantine. We can replace it if we run out of them.
Yeah, quarantine Miami. Why the hell not?
Yeah, they deserve it. Okay, where's
Listen, I've been to Miami. Quarantine that shit.
Yeah,
They don't have any diseases? I don't believe you.
Yeah,
I don't believe you.
we know what you did.
We know what you did, Miami.
Honestly, hang on. Oh, right. Yeah, no. Okay, cool.
Max, quarantine all of Florida while you're down there.
Technically, I did.
Well, he said he was going down to visit Disneyland, so he just he just quarantined it so that they can't go anywhere and he can just keep partying.
Yeah, it's just I quarantined it so I can go to Disney World.
Yes, no lines.
Which would be my preferred way of going to Disney. Okay, I pull from this, right? I get 2 now.
Yep. You draw 2.
1, 2. LA.
LA gets 1 more.
No.
Oh wait, no, right. That's not a fiction. My bad.
And
wrong one.
wrong one.
Oh, you were right the first time.
All right, hang on. So,
okay. Sorry, you go first.
Before you do that, that means we have 5 yellow cards between us now.
Yeah.
And once you hand Miami to Payne, he can give 2 yellows to
Yellow will be
Knight. So if I can give Lima to Knight before that happens, then yellow's cured.
So I want to point something out. Forecast it says anytime not an action. So if you want, right after this epidemic hits, Knight, you could play forecast before we draw.
And we can put all the yellow cards first.
That's probably a good plan.
I don't know what we would want to put first.
Would you want to do it after the discard pile gets put on top?
Yeah.
Or before?
Yeah. So when we,
is this
wait, yeah. What's that from? Where did that come from?
From the bottom, right?
This is the one that's gets the epidemic.
Okay.
I have a question.
Oh,
sale. It gets
K-pop.
what? 3?
Yeah. Move the inflection
it's 3.
marker forward 1 space. Draw the bottom card. Gets 3 on it.
Sales right here.
Up here.
So my question is, when you look at your actions card, share knowledge says either give a card or take a card. So when he stepped on Miami, could he have just taken Miami from you and not waited for your turn? I think so.
If
You
we're gonna do that, we should make that call now.
Hang on. Okay, so let's think about this. So what are we looking at? Where's the share? Share knowledge.
Share knowledge.
Either give a card that matches the city or take that card from the player. And then coworker says, you may share knowledge with a coworker as long as one of you is in the city that is being passed. The researcher can pass any card.
And I may give one of my city cards when I share knowledge.
So here's a question.
Player who shares knowledge with you on their turn can take any one of my cards.
But so if you take all the pieces separately, it sounds like the researcher can give anything, and the coworker thing just it makes it ranged. But is it? It says the card being passed is Miami, and it says the researcher can pass any card. I don't know. What do you guys
it sounds
think?
to
So I
me.
think-
So it sounds to me like even if he wasn't the researcher, one person being in the city that's being passed means that the city can be passed. He could just take it on his turn.
Oh, I'm sorry. I keep getting confused by that part. You're right. You can share
Alright.
knowledge as long as one of you's in. Yeah, so he should be able to take Miami from me if he
Well, I
wanted
had
to
one-
instead of quarantining.
Because he had one action left.
Yeah, like I would have done that.
And if he didn't quarantine, he could have taken it and handed it to. Well,
I
no,
would
he didn't hand it,
prefer-
but-
That would have been my fourth action.
Yeah, I would prefer
Oh.
if you did it that way too, so I have more quarantining turns over here in red.
So, yeah, we can backtrack.
No,
that.
yeah,
Wait,
because we
what-
definitely would have done that.
You handed
Yeah.
one card to Knight, you moved one space, and then you quarantined. That was only 3 actions.
No,
He handed Miami to- or he
I
handed
gave,
me
I gave
something.
Oh, yeah.
someone my black
Yep.
card.
Yep. Okay, my bad.
Yeah, good catch though, Salty. That's really good.
All right, sorry about that.
No,
Just wanted to
that's
make
we
sure
need to remember. I need to remember that. I've got long range telepathy with Pain now.
Who the heck is talking in my head?
It's me. It's me again. It's always me.
Ah, who's me?
Hi there. Hello. I'm your coworker.
On
Oh
top.
no, I'm not going to the town meeting.
All right. So, do we want to play forecast before we?
Well, if we don't play forecast, we could end up with a pandemic in Sale.
Yeah.
Yeah. It,
I think we should forecast.
one,
Oh,
So we get 6 and we
3.
rearrange.
4,
Now,
5.
I'm just gonna toss out
6.
there that if we put
Well, none of them are
Jakarta,
Sale.
if we put Jakarta on top, it won't get anything. We could do that and just I can quarantine it again on my turn.
Now, on your turn, what you could.
I'm gonna quarantine Soul with my ranged quarantine.
And then if you take a step and quarantine this, then you could take a step here, but you couldn't quarantine it.
Unless
be
you
your
move
fourth.
me.
Oh, yeah, and I will.
You move me one step, I should have enough reach. Salty, you have the power to move me.
man,
So,
it
what do we
sounds
think?
like the.
So Jakarta would just be a nothing drop right
Yeah,
now, so we
I
can
would
put that on top.
Jakarta right on top. And what
And
else?
we're gonna be curing. We're gonna be okay. So we're gonna be curing yellow soon. So it feels like putting yellows in there is good, but at the same time, we want to clear it. So putting yellows in there is not good. I don't know.
They're gonna
Well,
come up before we can. Well, I mean,
we have
they're
to
gonna come up.
eradicate yellow.
Yeah, they're gonna come up before we can eradicate anyway.
So
here's
on my
here's a
turn,
thought, too.
Knight, on my turn, if I move 1, 2, 3 to get to Lima, and then move EOG 1, so he'll be good. Then on your turn, you can come down to Lima and take Lima from me, and then whenever Knight hands you those other 2 yellows, then yellow's cured.
So
That's
my
true.
Thought,
I want to
my
remind
thought
you
is
guys
to
that
treat.
Yeah, Washington.
My thought is to treat Washington, move to Miami. I could take those cards then, but then it's longer to get to you. So 1,
Yeah.
2, 3, 4.
So Salty, postpone it by
Wait,
exactly
wait.
1 turn, because on your next turn you can just pull Knight to you and hand him Lima as 2 actions.
That's true. Yeah, so you can do whatever you want on your turn, and then on my turn, I would just pull you to Lima, hand you Lima, and then yellow would be cured.
I want to remind you guys that we want to eradicate something so that we have more of these positive mutations, because we only
And I
get to
would
do it
like
for
it to be something that's not yellow. I mean, we're fine with eradicating yellow too. Getting the third thing on it would be great, but I'd like to get the 1-2 punch on either of the other two. You know,
1-2 punches are nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just want to throw that out there. We want something to be eradicated for our mutation choices after.
Then it sounds like we should try to get black.
We've already got 3 of them.
Yeah, try to get salty cured because we have 3 on the board.
That's true, and there's not a lot.
Yeah, there's only the one card. And
I still think getting rid of yellow is a good idea.
Yeah, if we can cure one, we got to cure one. That's like
but
yeah.
One less thing we have to worry about is huge.
So that's what you're thinking?
Top to bottom is what I'm thinking.
So Jakarta, good, and Los Angeles would happen this turn.
Yes.
And then on
whose
turn was it?
Mine.
Okay. So it's your turn next.
My turn would be these two.
So the epidemic.
This.
So here's the thing. All the way through St. Petersburg happens at the end of D-Pain's turn because the intensify happens, then the infection happens, I believe. I don't think intensify. I don't think the intensify step 3 on the epidemic card, I don't think that replaces the infection.
Well, it doesn't say to pull 2 of them.
So we would do these 2 now at the end of Knight's turn, and then it would be my turn, and then we would do these 2, and then it would be Knight's turn, and then we would do these 2.
Nowhere on the epidemic card does it say to draw 2 off the top, right?
No, it doesn't.
What? The intensify says shuffle the cards. Oh, never mind. Just put it on top. Never mind.
Yeah, we're just resetting.
For some reason,
we're doing 2, and then after my turn, these 2, and then after Knight's turn, these 2, and then we won't know what's happening after.
This is what's going to happen all the way up until my turn, which means Ho Chi Minh is going to get 1 more right before I quarantine it, but that should be okay. We've got it planned.
Yeah, because we already
because
we don't need to shuffle these.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
That seems good.
Hey.
Okay, I wonder what
I wonder what we're gonna draw.
No, Knight, I'm good with throwing these tough ones at you and being like, okay, take a minute and figure shit out, Knight. Okay, I dropped it. It went somewhere.
It's in the right place. Oh no, it's not.
It didn't end up in the bag.
There it goes.
And wow, L.A. Who would have guessed that?
What? Bullshit.
No, it's called L.A.
All right, so my turn. 1, 2, 3, I guess, is the quickest way to get there.
Yeah.
Hang on.
Yeah, it's the quickest way.
If you guys are really interested in trying to like speed run some shit, I have borrowed time on me. So like if I were to give Salty borrowed time, he could pull Knight and hand him Lima.
Although the other thing
for a borrowed time.
So the borrowed time, what could happen there? Let's see. If I do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. My only concern is leaving Washington without curing Washington.
So on your turn, then you go 1, 2 to cure Washington. 3, 4, 5.
I don't have to move.
Oh right! Oh man, I forgot about that.
That's the one. My thought was,
okay, hang on. I have an idea.
2, take the 2 cards would be 3, 4, and 5, 6 would put me at.
But not able to take it.
Hang on, I'm
confused. So he's trying to figure out how to cure it before Payne's turn. Because if he can, so Salty, if I used borrowed time on Knight and he didn't want to cure Washington, move to Miami, take the 2 cards from Payne. That's 2. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down to you. Take 6. Lima. Yellow's cured.
So if I move, hang on.
But that would leave Washington untraded.
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh yeah, damn.
Question.
So
would another plan be if Knight ends up in Salty's square at the end of his turn? If I move down there, you take Salty's card, Lima, and then just give it to Knight.
Oh my god!
And then it's
so cured. If I move Hang on.
Well,
What I was
so-
going to say is
So there is another way.
Oh.
There is another
If
way,
somebody
but it
besides
involves...
Knight went to Washington, they could just drop a quarantine there.
What were you gonna say, Knight?
Well, so if Salty doesn't move EOG into Ho Chi Minh, and instead
Right.
pulls me to Lima, then I have 1 taking the card, 2, 3, 4, 5, cure Washington
And
on
cure.
my turn.
Or
Borrowed time.
if
basically,
if I
This
pull
is 1, 2,
If I-
3, 4,
Right.
5, cure 6.
All right, what's up, Salty?
Hold up a second.
okay, without using borrowed time, if I pulled D-Pain to my spot as my last
Oh,
action,
ah,
then on
first one.
D-Pain's turn, he could take Lima from me and give 3 yellow cards to Knight, and then the yellow's cured.
So if you move me to Lima, then I can cure.
And that wouldn't require borrowed time at all.
See, I'm tempted to
That
try
does
to get
use
that
a lot of
cleared
resources.
now with the borrowed
Um,
time.
I'm not like concerned about these, but let's see. 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna have to not quarantine Ho Chi Minh if I don't get moved. Because I can move past it down to Jakarta and quarantine, and then I can quarantine Seoul,
Right.
which is
Well, like I
probably
said-
fine. It's only at 2.
Yeah, it's fine for now. But like, yeah, if I yank D-Pain, and then on Knight's turn he can cure Washington, he can run over here and cure Mexico, and then on D-Pain's turn, yellow's cured. You know?
It's true.
Because there's no more yellow. What the only thing is Mexico City.
You would
that
just
come
take
up
Limo
before
from
my turn.
me, give all 3 of these to
Well-
Knight, and then yellow's cured. Done.
Yeah, I mean Mexico City
Yep.
and Lagos are are in the mix.
He wouldn't be able to do that, Salty, unless they were on the same spot.
Oh, right, because he's not. Right. Okay. Nope, I forgot about that.
So you'd all 3 end up having to be
Knight,
on the
Knight
same
could
spot.
cure Washington and then walk down to Lima, which would take 3
Yeah.
turns, and that would take his whole turn. That way, D-Pain could just hand him all the cards.
And it's the same. Like if Knight does that and then ends up in Lima, and then I can move down to Lima, take Lima off of Salty, be like, how dare, and then give it to Knight,
Right.
and then it's cured.
Yeah. So that means for Salty's last action, sounds like you should move Pain down to Lima, so
and
that
then
he's
we would
already
still
gonna
have
be there.
borrowed
Well-
time in case we need it for something later.
And
No, like,
it'll
he
take
doesn't-
all 4 of your actions, Pain, to take Lima and then give 3 cards.
Yeah.
Eh.
Yep.
Wasn't. I'm trying to remember the borrowed time for Knight. What he was saying was like
So if-
1,
for borrowed time with
2,
me.
3, 4, 5. Yeah.
So the way that we can make borrowed time work for me to get yellow cured now would be for Salty to pull me here, and then I basically borrowed time it back up this way to get the cards from you and cure Washington and treat Washington.
So you would take
So-
1 from me, and then 2, 3, cure Washington with 4, and then take 2 cards from him, 5, 6, and then it would be
Exactly.
cured.
So if we wanted to spend borrowed time, we could have it cured before it even gets to my turn, and Pain would have his whole turn still.
Yeah.
Which
I'm fine with
might
that
be worth
too.
it.
It's up to you guys. It's take a little longer and save borrowed time, or use borrowed time and get it done now.
I
Would be nice to eradicate it and have a bunch of dead draws in our infection pile.
It would be
And
very good to have those drawing dead, and then it still means
Well-
it also doing it that way puts me in I think a better spot for the clearing path.
Because you'll be able to just move left.
Yeah, you just move left, and I'll move right, and then on my turn, actually on my next turn, I could 1, 2, 3, and then yank you to me, and that would cure Lagos. Or I could just cure Lagos.
You
Like,
just
it's
cure-
one.
yeah.
Well,
Sorry, I keep
okay.
forgetting I can do things myself.
Right.
well, sure. Pulling me is not necessarily a bad thing at that point either, though.
It
if
depends
these two
on
are
what
already
happens with the
cleared,
cards.
because
Yeah.
that also puts me in a better spot to move over through the rest of the
Okay.
map too.
I
That's
think I'm
expensive.
on board with using borrowed time so Pain can actually have his turn.
Yoink! I grabbed Pain. All right.
So-
wait, nope, not yet.
Oh, right. I don't want to put it down just yet.
All right.
Do it.
So
Do
end
it
of my
now.
turn, I draw 2 cards, and we get
Bogota.
Pagoda.
To be fair, if I accidentally used it on Salty, he
Which
could
is
hand
right
Lima.
here,
He could.
right
Oh my
next
god.
to us.
He could hand
Oh, well.
Lima and then move him up one, and it would work the same.
Ah, San Francisco.
Oh, okay. That's two
Okay,
for
all
blue.
right. Yeah, we're getting there.
You know the and then I draw
All
two of
right,
these,
two of those.
which I wonder what they'll be. Mexico City,
That's not a real place.
St. Petersburg.
So
That's in
wait,
Florida.
question. We need to get the little bonus things. We can't just cure it. Like we have to get
It
all
has
the
to be
pips off
eradicated.
it.
It
Right?
has
Yes.
to be eradicated.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we are. Yeah. So we. In
I
one,
would
We
like
need to
to
eradicate
eradicate-
black or blue before we finish off the
Yeah,
other.
I would like to eradicate something other than yellow, but if we get yellow, I'm not going to be
I
mad.
mean, having yellow eradicated means we don't have to worry about it off the infections too, which is
Right.
Right.
even if
Yeah.
we
So
don't
what I'm
eradicate
thinking is
anything else,
whatever.
Yeah.
If we eradicate yellow and then we cure black, and then we have the cards to cure blue and red's not out of hand, like the quarantines are doing fine, then we eradicate black before we cure blue, just so we can do that. You
Which
know?
is
Yeah.
wild that that's even a possibility, but
Yeah.
yes.
we only have 13 cubes of red in the bin right now, so we got to be careful about that too.
Oh,
Hey.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
going to be quarantining, my friend.
You stop
It's-
being
All
a
right.
Debbie
I'm going to
Downer.
start quarantining places that don't have any disease on
Yoink.
them yet. I don't care.
2, 3.
I got yoinked.
Yoink. Can I have some borrowed time, please?
No.
Here you go.
Yoink.
Night
Here
has
goes
been
the second
cured.
turn. Hooray!
Boom. Cure done. And
And treat Washington
Yeah.
remotely.
yeah, so I can treat Washington or LA either way. I think
How would you
Washington
treat
probably
LA?
makes or Mexico City rather.
I would
Okay.
treat
one.
Washington because
Because
you
you
just drew
yeah.
Mexico
Those.
City.
Yeah.
Treat it.
Okay, what a couple of turns. That was a lot of planning, but honestly, pretty baller.
Cairo.
Oh.
So-
oh.
Oh,
Alright, guys, I have a thought. I know it's dangerous, but
Mhm.
so if we were to eradicate yellow and then
Uh-huh.
eradicate black and then just wait and lose the game,
Oh no.
then our funding would go up by 2 and we'd get 2 more upgrades for February for our second game in February.
But
Because if we win the game, we only get 2 upgrades for February.
okay,
That is
but
true.
wait, what? What do you mean?
So
Well, because after every game you get 2 upgrades. If we
Yeah.
win February's first game, then going into March we'll only have gotten 2 upgrades for February.
Oh my god. Oh no.
And we'll go into March with only 2 funding.
Salty's diving a tower for execute.
I mean it is valid. It is a valid thought.
Oh
danger-
no.
So here's the danger.
The danger
in
would
that
be
thought.
the city's starting to riot and shit.
Exactly. It's how we end up losing, not the losing itself. That's
I
the
think
danger.
okay with riots.
There also may be rules later based on how many times you've lost.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
So-
Okay, fine.
There
We win the
is-
game if we can win it.
There is
I
definitely.
love where your mind is at, but I also hate it.
It's
there
like
is-
min maxing.
Yeah.
So there's also no guarantee that we
Hey,
have a
Corp.
good game on the second game either. So
Yeah, we
there's
can just draw an
also
epidemic right
Hey,
away.
but this time we know who to blame.
there's also a package if you lose 4 games in a row that you open.
Ooh,
Oh.
So
But then we'd be losing months, and I don't want to do that.
the alien
yeah,
invasion.
That's the danger.
Rovers.
I don't want to lose any months. I just am okay with losing the first game of a month to get more shit, you know?
Salty, you can be honest. You just want to play more games with us.
Yeah.
Okay, so did we? It's not my turn yet, right? We still have
It
to
is your
do.
turn.
We do the infection. No, did we do infection?
Did we? Infections?
I thought we did the infection. Did we not do the infection?
St. Petersburg.
No,
what was-
we only did 4.
Right.
Yeah, no, we haven't done it yet.
Istanbul.
Yep, it's right there.
Ho Chi Minh.
And Ho Chi Minh.
In the danger
Okay,
levels.
so at this point, I for sure quarantining Seoul. Both of the other 2 that are at 3 have already been drawn, and I can only quarantine one of them.
You know the danger, though. As soon as we don't do it, we're getting epidemic.
But
and
I have to quarantine Seoul, though, don't I?
yes, Seoul has not been drawn yet.
So that's one.
That's probably coming up next round.
And
Seoul
then
is
two
within the next 6 cards. Because I think we had 12
puts
when we
me-
epidemic.
here. And then my third action, either I move to Jakarta and quarantine it, or I stay in Ho Chi Minh and quarantine it.
Ooh, well, they've both already been drawn, but if we draw an epidemic, then they're both
It
up
would
for
be-
danger.
It would be worse if Ho Chi Minh gets hit than Jakarta. Right?
Yeah. There's more reach, and also the panic level.
So I'm going to quarantine Ho Chi Minh, and I don't think I'm going to spend my fourth action. I think I'm going to stay here so that if it does, if we do happen to epidemic and draw it, I won't lose the quarantine.
Hey, I know what you can do for your fourth action.
What's up?
Your phone's ringing. Hey, someone just
hello?
stole all my research.
Oh,
What happened? You're the only one that has
yeah.
the password to my Google Box drive.
Oh, no, I thought that was the shared oh, yeah, that's a my bad.
Dirty medic.
So yeah, I'm tempted to move here to save another action for myself, like on next turn, but I don't think I should, because if I'm in it and it gets hit, that's bad, right?
Yeah.
Yes, you will get a scar, and then if you get 2 scars, you kaput.
So I think it's probably for the best if I. Oh, no, I was gonna say I could treat. No, you just can't treat this at all. There's nothing for me to do for my last action, is there?
You know,
emote.
there's a small part of me that is very apprehensive about having anyone in the red territory, like, at all.
Well, standing on my quarantine though.
I know. Well, it's not that. It's not that. Okay, I know you'll be fine because this card says at the end of your first game in February. But if the card said after the 4th whatever, I'd be like, get out, get out, get out, because you
Right.
don't know what the hell D-Pan's gonna do next.
That's a good point.
Are we still talking about the disease?
No,
Yeah.
That too.
Flip.
no,
the
we're
table.
talking about.
Flip
We
the
don't know what
table.
this freaking chaos
gonna-
gremlin is gonna do.
You're gonna flip one of these over, and it's gonna be like, if a city is in rioting or worse, and a player's in it, they're dead. Like, you don't.
No.
They-
But Knight, you think I'm good? I don't want to spend my last action. I don't think there's a thing for me to do.
There's
Yeah, I'm
nothing
trying to
saying
think
you
what.
can't.
I don't know what other action we could do.
I could like move to Bangkok to like get ready to quarantine that, but actually, so
standing
if
where
I
you're
was,
standing is good.
I think that's the
because-
safest place.
it's also protective. Yeah.
Yeah.
If
It
I
keeps-
moved to Bangkok, then next turn would be a good one because I could quarantine, and then ranged quarantine something. But it is risky.
It's really shitty that I don't have the turn right before yours to mitigate risk for that.
Wouldn't
You
that be
know?
awesome?
The nice thing with you standing on the quarantine also means that if it does trigger,
Yeah, it protects
Yeah,
him
quarantine
and the
doesn't
saves
go
city.
me
away.
Saves me a quarantine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna flip my cards.
Hold the line. Oh, can't do anything with those.
No,
I can
oh,
teleport with those.
They're travel cards.
Teleport to the next one. I'm going to instant transmission to Jakarta. Plunk.
Well, actually, I could give them to you.
Yeah, I was just, I was literally just like, I was making a joke. And I was like, wait a second.
But
how I can
actually,
get there.
though, we
I
could
can get-
teleport without Salty doing it.
Yeah, you can get that to me there. I go to Jakarta and then I start clearing some of the salty sickness.
All right, here we go. Lagos,
And
Washington.
Hey!
Good play. Good play.
Say
Yes.
that outbreak. And also keep the
yes.
riot.
Well, let's see.
Okay, my turn's over.
I literally can't do anything with my turn right now. Like my special ability, that is. Unless, okay, we said I can't take any like to share knowledge. You guys, I can't take your knowledge unless we're on the city, right?
Yeah, I would have to be
Alright.
In the
Yeah,
city.
you can
So-
give, but you can't take.
Let's see, 1, 2. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Cairo and then go up to Istanbul and get rid of one of them.
Okay, nice.
So 1, 2, 3, and 4.
I like that. Keeping the levels low.
Because Knight just has to like waddle through here and he's good.
Yeah. Where's that character upgrade for the medic that lets him treat untreatable shit?
Right?
All right. Chicago.
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 Washington.
Washington. Okay,
So we got 4 of the
We
5.
got a lot
of
we
blue.
need.
There. we're getting there.
I think
How
that's
are we
going to
going
end
to
up.
get
I think it's
all
probably
these
going to
5
be.
blacks to the same person?
Yeah, getting the blacks transferred is going to be tricky, but getting the
Maybe.
blues.
That's been something. Never mind.
That's not what I meant. That was not even remotely the intent, and you all know
In
it.
February. How dare you?
No.
Wow.
So,
Out of context comments.
So-
101 there.
All
reminder,
right, we're changing
uh,
all of these colors now.
yeah. Reminder that Payne, if he marches around salty disease area, he can take stuff from me.
Oh yeah, and give stuff to you.
He can do
Or
that
do-
anyway.
Take stuff from. Oh right.
But if he
Right,
steps
he
somewhere
can't-
where I have a
can't.
card, he can
You
take
have
it
this-
from me.
You have Istanbul.
Yeah,
you-
so I can give it to you on my turn.
Well, no, because you know your turn where you're going to be chopping Quan.
Yeah, I do kind of have a premium on moves
Yeah,
on my. But,
don't worry.
but yeah, so
I will
Payne
show up
can-
and be like, "Yo, give me
he
that."
can just
junk."
start taking shit and then handing it to somebody else. Because he can do that easier too.
Yeah, and if one of you guys want to come meet me up, it's just like, "Yo, take these dirty states away from me." Oh yeah, I gotta do this thing now, don't I? We got Bangkok. Is this our first new one? We'll find out. Kolkata.
Kolkata. Nope.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Nope.
Kolkata's getting spicy.
It's a little spicy.
Hey, don't worry. Salty's gonna choose the next epidemic card. I can feel it. What you gonna do there?
I don't like it.
What are you gonna do?
Stop feeling things.
Huh? Huh? What you gonna do
Well,
there?
it's weird because I mean, I guess I could just run to Lagos, but I can't cure it now because it would take 2 actions. I could teleport Knight to me, but Knight's already in a good position. Also, when did these things get switched up?
And the wickets, what?
Because Knight's in Istanbul and Payne's in Miami.
Oh, I keep grabbing. I don't know why I keep grabbing knights.
So salty.
I just grab one and start moving it.
If
I'm not
you
even looking
move-
at it.
If you move Knight through
Just,
Mexico City to Los Angeles, that would cure those for him.
There you go. Now you're red like your disease. Now you'll never forget.
Okay. Next
I'm
question. Or next
Beautiful.
thing. Salty is if that what are our actions? Shuttle flight, move from a city. Okay, discard. I was like, how do you? There's a way to get to a research station, isn't there?
Let's see here. You can discard
You
a
have to go
card
from
you're
one
the
to
city
one.
you're in to go anywhere. You can discard
Oh.
a card you
So I could
have.
move up to Bogota and discard Bogota to go anywhere.
Could he move there and discard that card to send someone else anywhere, or
I
does he
think
have to
so.
discard where they are?
I think it's let's see. Did
It
this
says
have-
move upon as if it was you, so I don't know.
Anyway, what I was thinking was if you move Knight through those yellow ones there to cure them, but with his passive, then
Uh-huh.
you could warp him to Pain maybe, and that puts him close.
But if I
closest to
moved,
Lagos.
if I could move Bogota and discard Bogota to warp anyone, then I could 1, 2, 3 move Knight to cure those, and then discard Bogota to warp Knight to Lagos,
That-
and now Yellow's gone.
That is
That's
a path to
crazy.
make that work. Yes.
and it would happen before you draw more cards, which might be yellow. Honestly, dude, this is what the
I like
dispatcher was made for.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
I
I'm
definitely
doing
like it.
I'm doing it. Get rid of all the yellow shit. Discard
Okay.
Pagoda.
We have eradicated Knight once again.
Get wrecked.
Using the supreme powers of Knight the Medic, we have eradicated Knight the Disease.
Also, I saw Civil's commenters like, treat
Yeah.
the untreatable, Cox gun. I'll cure you. Don't worry. And
Yeah.
it's like I was thinking of the same thing earlier, and then the only song that's now in my head is 45 by Shinedown.
If I had one more move on my turn, I would just teleport him probably to you. That way he's 2 spaces from curing this shit.
Yeah. I did actually consider, Salty, now that you don't need to be over there, you could jump to me, and as long as you're standing on a quarantine spot where I am, you're safe too. So you could drop quarantines for me to jump on too.
Oh yeah, I could drop quarantines too. Hell yeah.
Right? But
I mean,
you may want to cure retreat Washington first, depending on how the cards get drawn.
Yep.
Anyway,
All right, here we go.
Awesome.
Whoop. Flip.
Oh my god!
Oh,
Who called it?
I don't draw another card.
You get you get a second one.
You still get your second card.
yeah, you'll get the second card, but you won't get a replacement for the epidemic.
You don't get a replacement.
Oh, okay. Well, that's
Okay,
fine. I
so-
can do that.
So the plus to it right now is there's a lot of yellow in this.
Yeah,
To-
honestly, it's not the worst time.
All right,
Okay.
what do we get? What's getting hit? I
Riyadh.
don't even know what that is. You made that up.
Riyadh.
It sounds like a Pokemon.
Where's that? There.
It's a Pokemon.
Riyadh.
Rah.
All right, do we have any?
What would their
No.
attack be? What type?
It's definitely ground and rock.
All right, here we go. 1.
Don't be Riyadh.
Nothing.
Los Angeles,
Awesome.
nothing. 2.
And
Nothing.
yeah, big brain plays.
Big brain. Okay, we have got to get Riyadh fixed up, though. I'm nervous now.
Big
So on Knight's
brain-
turn, he can get 1, 2, 3, and just he didn't even have to go into it, but
I can do 2 cure.
actually,
or
you can go
2
up here
trade.
and cure Istanbul and Riyadh.
I can only do a remote 1. I can only do remote.
Oh,
1.
okay. Well,
But yes, 1, 2.
but poor Kolkata. I'm worried about Kolkata.
If it doesn't get hit before my turn, I can quarantine it from long range.
All right, yeah. So you need to
There's
but you need to
3.
quarantine all 3 of these. And you can't do that all in one
I
turn.
do. Yes, I do.
Knight.
It's a
If
shame.
you can take care of Istanbul, I have an idea.
It's a shame that I haven't been able to make use of your dispatcher powers, but we've been using them the right way.
Yeah.
So I can't treat Istanbul this turn, but I can take care of it next turn.
you still have 1 turn left.
I
right?
do.
Oh my
I
gosh.
have 1 more
Oh,
action.
yeah.
Guys, I can discard one of the cards I just drew to make a research station.
Okay.
Then you guys can jump to it easier. And I could cure a disease
from
it.
here.
Yeah. We drew the cards and it was like, haha, well, that sucks. Actually,
But you can't make it in Ho Chi Minh. But you can make it somewhere else.
I have Jakarta. I could move to Jakarta, quarantine, and drop a research station.
2, 3. And then yeah, you could quarantine one of these
And
two.
then ranged quarantine one of the other 2.
Yeah.
I'm just trying
Then
to figure
that
out,
leaves
so-
you guys able to warp. Yeah, that's right. That's what I need to do. Because we need something to be able to get you guys over here. And also, if I do end up with enough of the same color, I want to be able to cure a disease.
So if I stay here, Pain could take Cairo from me to pass on.
Yeah.
Sorry,
means-
you said that. I was like, I'm dying. I don't want to pass on.
Yes. Wow, my words are getting misinterpreted great tonight.
I
Okay,
don't want to
here's
get
a-
quarantined.
Here's a bad thought. Here's a bad thought. I already have 3 black cards. And Pain can give me stuff from anywhere.
Where's Coca? Oh, Coca.
You don't have to leave. You can just drop the research
Exactly.
station in Jakarta and cure it from there.
Exactly. If my next turn is what I thought it was going to be, dropping a research station, then by the time my next turn comes around, Pain might have been able to give me enough to cure it.
Yeah.
What
Depends
I
on
can
what
do-
happens with the cards.
So I have one action
You
left.
know,
I think what I do is I
we-
just drop that as the
Yeah,
last action.
I don't hate
It's
it.
not amazing, but it's better than wasting or just not taking the action.
Yeah.
And I don't know what else because I don't really have anything else I can do, positioning or anything else that's going to be helpful right now. So I think that makes sense.
Ooh. Oh, that
we
was an
have-
infection.
All right, we have we have
I
five.
was-
We have
I was
five
like,
blue.
oh,
I'm worried.
Ooh, you do.
We just
Then
gotta
maybe
get
we
them...
hold. Maybe we don't try to rush curing black. We could try to eradicate blue first.
Yeah,
Well, what I'm seeing is there are 2 spots that have blue on them and 2 spots that have black on them.
That's true, but
I don't
you
think
have
the blue or the
5
black.
blue cards between you.
Yeah, I don't think the blue or the black is is our biggest issue as far as losing. It's the red is going to be our biggest bane here.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
true.
It's if we want to try to
Washington.
eradicate one.
Honestly,
Oh yeah,
that's
and
probably
I think
fine.
we should. I do
That's-
think we should try to get one of those at least.
Oh, absolutely.
Eradicate one.
But
What was the fourth?
Lagos, free point.
What was the fourth bonus positive mutation?
Suppress
something
when you treat.
called-
Remove all cubes of this color from your city. So it's basically my
From the
ability
city that
for
you're
all
in.
of them.
And then there was one last one, right? It goes up to 5.
The
No.
easier agents is 3, and that's the
Okay.
discover with one fewer card.
And there
Okay,
were
so we just
there were
didn't care
3
about
of
four.
1 and 2. There were 2 of 2 or of 3 and 1 of 4. So if we wanted to go to 4, we could only do it with 1 disease. And the third thing we can only do with 2 of them. But yeah, if the fourth one is just like, oh, if you're like, I tell what? When did we tell it? When did we cure yellow? Knight was standing in Miami when he cured yellow. So if there had been cubes there, they would have been cured. But because he was the medic, that would have happened anyway. Like, I don't know. It's
Yeah.
It's like it is a helpful ability in terms of spreading out the medic abilities, and could potentially let you
right. But
play
it's
a different
only
character if
it's
needed.
only for the. So if I had cured yellow while I was standing in Lima, if there was a cube there, it would have been cured. But there wasn't. You know, like it's just we move so
Wait.
much to get shit done. It doesn't seem all that useful. It's just the spot you're in when you cure it